Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin. Joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck, and we invited other people to come on the show. So if they come on, that's cool. If not, oh well. There's always next time.
See when we
So
see you.
yeah, when we see you. So on today's show, got a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world. The Blue Jackets have played their first 3 games of the season against Minnesota on the road against Colorado, and last night, the home opener against the Florida Panthers. The Blue Jackets lost in Minnesota 3-2. They beat Colorado 6-4 and lost to the Florida Panthers 4-3. We're going to talk about those games, the good, the bad, and everything else. Also at the Blue Jackets home opener, there was a tribute to Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau. It was nicely done by the Blue Jackets, and we're going to talk about that. The Blue Jackets also have a new donkey hat that they will be wearing every time the Blue Jackets win. What does the donkey hat mean? We're going to talk about that. All this and so much more on today's show. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Hell yeah, welcome in. I'm just finishing up this Facebook post real quick saying we're live and here's our YouTube link. And speaking of YouTube and everything like that, don't forget to like and follow and share everything that if you like what you're seeing, if you like the content, we appreciate it. And
Yeah.
all the support means a lot to us. We this is so after today, this episode right here, right now. This is the first episode of our 3rd season. So this is season 3, episode 1.
That's right.
And
yes, you can bring Katic. I'll send it to
yeah.
you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And so, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, so I got to go to the game last night, as I know you did too.
I did.
It was really nice doing the march and everything like that. We'll talk about that here in a little while too. First, though, I want to talk about we'll talk about the games here soon, but I think the most important thing, in my opinion, is that is the all the ceremony and the tributes to Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau from last night, and I thought everything was very beautifully done. I mean, huge props to Florida for helping out with everything. Let me just give you like a little quick rundown. If you didn't get to see it on TV or you weren't there in person or anything, let me. Whoops. Also, I just had an article published, so go check it out on Inside the Rink. You can find me there. So yeah, last night there was so the Florida Panthers joined the Blue Jackets in wearing number 13 and having the name Gaudreau on their jerseys when they came out for warm-ups. Every player. It was really cool. The Blue Jackets raised a banner into the rafters with his name and number on it as well. There's a memorial in there for Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau, including some of their jerseys from Boston and I think maybe a Flames jersey. I can't tell what that is. But it was really nice. Okay, so this is probably one of the coolest moments of the game, and then I have the tribute video from the Blue Jackets I'd like to show. At the beginning of the game, this was unexpected. Nobody knew. I mean, I didn't know this was going to happen. Maybe other people did, but when it came time for puck drop, the referee dropped the puck and everyone stood still for 13 seconds. Now, the Blue Jackets started 4 forwards they started 4 players instead of 5, leaving the left wing position open. And when the puck was dropped, it was hit over to the left wing position where Johnny Gaudreau would normally have been playing. And all players stood still for 13 seconds, and then the game restarted and was underway. And that was just a very touching moment. I mean, that like the physical aspect of passing, man, it really sucked. Monahan didn't get to play with Johnny Gaudreau here, and that's who passed it. And that's just the physical act of him moving the puck over to the empty spot, man. It just hit home to me because it's like, damn, he would really be right there right now. And just very touching moment. They had the Gaudreau family there too. His parents, Meredith, and everything like that as well. So let me show you the tribute video. What's up, Brinkek? How's it going? Let me show you the tribute video here real quick, and then we will go on to talk about the games. So here is this. Sorry if it's loud. Sorry if it's quiet, but I really thought this was nice. So
growing up, my dad had me on the ice. I think I was 2-3 days old. Put me right in the skates as soon as he could. Put my younger brother in skates as soon as he could as well. And kind of just been a hockey family ever since.
That's Boyle with it. Leaves it behind the net. The wraparound, and Johnny on the spot. Number 3, Johnny Gaudreau.
Me and my friends, instead of growing up playing video games, I was asking my dad if he'd mind watching me and 8 of my friends go to the rink and skate on the ice. I was out there with my dad all the time. Just being on the ice with my dad, it kind of helped. First time stepping on the ice, I think my mom was coming to not watching the hockey more so. She was trying to make sure that I was safe and I would get off the ice and everything went smoothly. My goal was always just to play Division I hockey, and my dad always told me, small players have to play their way onto teams, and big players have to play themselves off of teams. And you gotta work hard in this guy. You gotta think smart in this guy. You keep your head up. I think it just, stuck with me as each level went on.
Finds friends in Matheson, who steps up from the point in front, score!
Here he is again. Gaudreau centering, score! Here's Gaudreau. He can move. Gaudreau again. Gaudreau. Score!
The Obie Baker Award winner is Johnny Gaudreau.
Everyone told me I was too small to make it, and I would never make it to the next level, and then the next level, and the next level after that. So,
congratulations.
I just try to keep proving people wrong.
Monahan to Breen. Loads up, shot, scores! Johnny Gaudreau, his first National Hockey League goal in his first National Hockey League game.
I enjoyed every time I step on the ice, never take it for granted.
Flames chasing it, Monahan catches up to it, drops it, Gaudreau shoots, and scores!
But, you never have a bad day here. Coming to the rink, being with your teammates, and getting to play hockey is your job.
I'm going to the Jersey Shore. I'm buying a house. That same week I moved in, Meredith lived next door. Invited her to go for a jet ski ride, and it just kind of all fell into place and felt right, and it was great. Calgary, we love it here, and it's a pretty special place for us.
Gaudreau, good shot, try to get in front, scores! Matthew Tkachuk, and that'll be point number 100 for Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau in front, needs a pass to Lino, stopped by Archer, took it up high, Gaudreau scores!
We're on the show down here.
Love you.
Get back to your
Johnny Gaudreau, the top free agent available yesterday, came to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Change is hard sometimes, but when you have familiar faces, it just makes it so much easier. You want to surround yourself with people that make you better, and not only on the ice, but off the ice. And that's something that I've tried to do all my life.
that's really important, and it's obviously important to this organization. The tight-knit group they have, everyone, gets along, and they're a fun group to be a part of. For me and my family, we always knew that this is a good place to land, and if there was ever an opportunity to come here, we'd try to take it, and it all worked out. Growing up, you look back at your childhood, you're like, wow, this is what I was meant to do.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Johnny Gaudreau's Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau.
Johnny Gaudreau.
I think when it's all said and done, I just want to be kind of remembered as a guy who just wanted to be around the rink, around his friends, around his family. I could probably go on and on the list, but just being a hockey guy, I guess.
And once again, that was the tribute video played by the Columbus Blue Jackets prior to the game last night. And they had other tribute videos throughout, but this one was posted, and I really liked it for what it was. I thought they did a great job. Overall, I think the Blue Jackets organization did a great job with the memorializing and the tributes to Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Yeah, it's talk about some hockey here for a bit then too. Oh wait, I got a few more things actually. So the Blue Jackets weren't the only ones to help pay tribute to Johnny Gaudreau. Matthew Tkachuk, his former teammate from the Calgary Flames, also he wasn't able to make it last night, unfortunately, to the game, but he arranged for all the players to arrive, the Panthers players to arrive with a purple Gatorade and a bag of Skittles. I guess that was some staples of Johnny Gaudreau, and I thought that was really neat. But we're going to talk about that game here in a little bit. I do want to talk about some other games here first.
Yeah.
So, Kev, I know you were there with me.
Yes, I was.
Do you have any thoughts about the memorial or anything?
Yeah, so...
And keep in mind, we'll talk about the game part a little later, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I thought it was well put together. You could definitely tell that the Blue Jackets put a lot of time and hard work and blood, sweat, and tears into it to make it look cool. Like, this isn't just something that, this isn't something that they half-assed or something. They didn't do that. It wasn't just like, Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Gaudreau, died, very sad, very unfortunate, and then they just stopped it right there. Like, no, they were like, Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau unfortunately died, and a real good tribute to them, and that cool video that they played, and then they played a video of Meredith Gaudreau, who's Johnny Gaudreau's wife, and it was a good, strong message. And I'm paraphrasing what she said, but the basic whole idea, what Meredith Gaudreau said, was basically, be happy, be with your family and friends, and just, go out, play hockey, just kind of like what Johnny Gaudreau wanted to do. And he did do that in his life. And she just wants you to keep that going, keep the memory of Johnny Gaudreau alive and all the good stuff about him. You just want that to keep that going.
Right.
And then there was the whole, chance of Johnny Hockey. That was going, and that was cool, and that really got the crowd going there. You were at the game last night, Johnny Hockey chant, that got everyone going, and it went from 0 to 100 to everyone just so excited and hyped and let's fucking go. We're gonna win this for Johnny Gaudreau, sort of thing. At least that's the feeling that I had. And then
No, and that's I think of this shared.
right. And there were just so many ups and downs and everything else in between. Cause like it started out like awesome tribute video, and you're like, oh, that's sad and disappointing. But then like the Meredith Gaudreau video, and it kind of got you more excited and more hyped. And then the Johnny Hockey chants, like everyone getting excited and everything. And just when you in my opinion at least, when you combine everything that happened from the Johnny Gaudreau tribute video plus Matthew Gaudreau, and then Johnny Gaudreau's wife's video that they played, and then the Johnny Hockey chant, and all this other stuff that they did before the game. You put that in together, and it really had me just hyped and ready to go. Like, let's fucking go. We're winning this for Johnny Gaudreau. Let's do this. I was just so excited and ready to go. It was just an awesome tribute for both Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau. I just loved it. It was just awesome. Well put together, nicely done Blue Jackets. And then from my perspective, I had set seats in 211, about 5-10 rows up. And from my perspective, when I saw the face-off, I saw the puck kind of squirt out, kind of like from my perspective, kind of like an awkward angle. And I didn't pick up on there was 4 players on the ice for the Blue Jackets. So then when I see the puck just kind of like squirt out, they do the face off, and then the puck just like kind of squirts out to like an awkward spot of the ice. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, like what the heck was that? But then once you see everyone just standing there and doing nothing, that's when it caught me.
Everyone, I think, was a little confused.
Yeah, everyone was a little confused. But then, like, once you see everyone standing still and just doing nothing,
the cheers started.
When you see everyone just stand there, do nothing, and then it hit me. I picked up on it, like, oh, they're doing this for Johnny Gaudreau, and like, oh, that's so cool. And then, like you said, Hefty Duck, after that, the 13 seconds for this, they just stand there for 13 seconds. The 13 seconds has come and gone. And then the whole Johnny Hockey chant, and everyone just gets so hyped and excited. And it was just so cool. And then they play hockey. And, it was just overall, you wish the Blue Jackets would have won. But everything else was just so damn cool. Nicely done, Blue Jackets. I just love it. I know we'll get to the game later and everything. So nicely done, Blue Jackets. I just love it. Just keep going. Just keep going.
So hey, Rinketic, how's it going? Hey, were you able to catch the game like live last night or anything?
I haven't watched it, but I did watch the 13 seconds thingy.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure.
Also, hope you guys are well.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just wasn't sure how it came across on TV. I don't know what all. I know. I remember I saw at 6:30 they were going to do the memorial thing on TV for Johnny Gaudreau, but I was just curious. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that game in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about. What's up?
When I saw the highlight, you could see like the Johnny place were like open, and the Florida Panthers center, whoever that was now, like it looked like he cared at first, but then when he was like stick all up and he was like standing up instead. So you could see it was like planned and stuff. It was pretty nice though.
Yeah, class act by the Florida Panthers there too. I mean, of course, Matthew Tkachuk is an ultimate captain and forward for their team, and just this. But even though he wasn't able to make it, that was just good for them, man. Great team. So let's talk about some games before that then too. The Blue Jackets have played 3 games so far. Right now they're 1-2. They beat the Colorado Avalanche. That's the one. There are 2 players that I want to buy stock in this year. Well, there's more than that. There's about 3 right now that come to mind immediately, and they've already made their impacts in the first 3 games. Very well aware. 1, Yegor Chinakhov. 2, Cole Sillinger. 3, Kent Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, these guys, I don't know what they're feeding these dudes, but they're all like getting pretty ripped. You can tell they're like a lot of them are bulkier, they're bigger, especially Kent Johnson. You can definitely tell, and then you can see it on the ice. Kent Johnson, that was somewhat of an issue for him in the past. He came in a young kid, and when you're younger, you're just smaller than some of the other guys generally, and he was just getting pushed off the puck. It wasn't even allowing him to get to show off his skills because they were just pushing him. And so now I just didn't see that. You don't see him, even up against on the boards and everything when they're fighting. Yeah. And he was on a line last night with Silly and Putia, and that was a nice line. But anyway, so those three guys. Let's talk a little bit about the Minnesota Wild real quick. It was an away game, so this was Dean Evason's first time, going back there as a Blue Jacket and playing his former team where he was coach. He got fired last season. That was not very long ago. It was last season he got fired after they started with a 5-10-4 record. I mean, the Blue Jackets, they've looked so fast. They've looked very clean. This is a Dean Evason team. I feel like you can tell. They play kind of like how the Wild were, just unrelenting, just constantly, just so fast, just so good. And Kent Johnson did get the first goal of the season for the Blue Jackets. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, the Jackets couldn't hold them off and ended up losing 3-2. But it was personally, I think it was a good game from them. There was a lot on their plate. I mean, not only it's their first game without Johnny Gaudreau, but then Dean Evason returning to the Wild and wanting to win it for him and wanting to win it for everyone. And it's just, there was a lot that they were able to get out while they were on the ice there.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that? Rinketic, we'll start with you. Did you get a chance to watch the Wild game against the Blue Jackets last week?
Yeah, a bit actually. And to be honest, in general, at least the Minnesota one or the Avalanche one, I felt like we played well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
what I mean is like we play well and lose, and it's not like 2 years ago when we were like dreadful and lost.
Yeah. It's like,
And
Go ahead.
and like, okay, I'm not a coach in hockey, in other sport. And I even said it to another coach the other day. I'd rather lose playing well than playing shit and winning. Because at least if you play well, then like you're improving. You're on like a good trajectory.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Dean Evason said this after the game last night too. He said that we're playing. He's referring to him and the team. We're playing winning hockey right now. We're just not winning the game, but they're playing winning hockey. He said, you can check us out in my article too. Something about someone's not taught how to win. And so that's really cool. Yeah, I like what you're saying there, Rinketic. Yeah. Do you have anything else from that game?
Not really. I didn't watch that one a lot. Just the Avalanche one.
That's cool. I'm gonna slide over here to Kevin then too. So, what did you see in that game? Would you have like a favorite moment from it, or is there a goal you really liked?
So, this is at least from my perspective, and we'll get more into this, as we talk about the other games as well. But so far, it's a small sample size, but so far there's a common theme that you see when watching the Blue Jackets play so far, which is that offensively, it just seems like every time they have the puck, it's getting shot at the net, no questions asked. That's it. And there isn't really a lot of passing to try and set it up. It's just get it on the net. And then once you put it on the net, if you don't score, go back and go get that puck and set up
Get
another
the rebound. Yeah.
Go get the rebound and try and score. And if you don't get the rebound and try and score, go get the puck and try and set up another play so that you can try and score. Because that's something that I noticed in particular in the game against Minnesota, that the Blue Jackets were being very aggressive offensively, where anytime they had the puck, they just shot it, put it on net. Did it not matter where on the ice they were in the offensive zone. If they had the puck, they were shooting it and putting it on the net. And honestly, I like that because it's never a bad idea to shoot the puck when you're in the offensive zone. Put it on net, anything can happen. You can score, the goalie stops it, but you can score on the rebound. You shoot it, it deflects off a stick, and then it bounces off a skate, and then it could hit the goalie, and it still bounces in. You just never know. Shooting is always
goalie could be sliding backwards, and it goes in with him.
Right.
Saw that last night.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hmm.
So there's that. And then defensively in the 3 games, they look better, but they're aggressive, but they're doing it in a smart way. They're not being aggressive and stupid, which is I've seen so many teams, they're aggressive, but they're doing it in a stupid way, where it's just too aggressive, too fast, you're out of position, and you're leaving guys wide open because you're just too aggressive. It's aggressive, but it's smart about that. It's that when you're aggressive, yeah, you're aggressive, but you're still not leaving wide open spots.
You're
are
still
making
thinking. Yeah.
if someone scores on the Blue Jackets, they earned it. We're not giving away freebies here anymore. So I really like that. And then 2 good goals there by Kent Johnson and Zach Werenski. Kent Johnson just gets the puck and just quickly shoots it, puts it on net. He scores. Zach Werenski, awesome goal. They score on the power play. Good puck movement, just like kind of like 2 quick passes. They set it up to Werenski. Werenski just, quickly shoots it and scores. Awesome. But where it comes down to why did the Blue Jackets lose that game? It comes down to this. The first goal happens because the Blue Jackets were on the power play, and then that gets canceled because they have a penalty get called on them. And so because of that, it becomes 4-on-4. And now, and then both penalties get killed, but the Wild built up momentum, and they had a couple good shifts on the offensive zone, and the Blue Jackets couldn't get it out. And eventually what happened was Matt Boldy for the Wild gets the puck, shoots it, scores, because they just couldn't get it out. If you get it out, that goal doesn't happen. The second goal happens then the one for the second goal happens because Fantilli tries. It's not his fault. It's a good, hard effort. I like this play. I can't blame him for it. He's trying. It just so happens is that there's a puck battle along the boards, and Fantilli sees the puck, and he tries to get the puck and get it out of there. Well, what happens is that in the process of Adam Fantilli trying to get that puck and get it out of there, he goes for the puck and misses. And what happens is because he goes for the puck and misses, now there's a wide open spot because he missed the puck. The Wild see that, and they do like 2 or 3 boom, 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 quick passes, and boom, it's in the back of the net. So
they had a guy open by the net too that helped them.
Yeah. So again, not your fault, Adam Fantilli. I love your effort. You tried on that play. It just didn't work out for you. You went for it. You missed. You didn't get the puck. And then before you know it, 2 or 3 quick passing plays, boom, it's in the net. Nothing.
Like JVR lost it, actually.
And JVR, he did score. James Van Riemsdyk did score a goal, but it got called back for goaltender interference. And then the third goal was, the Blue Jackets penalty. And considering that the Wild this past season had a top 10 power play, that's one of the worst things that you could do when playing the Wild, especially when you have guys like Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov who can.
He had a night.
He did.
Yeah.
You know, when you have got, from the Wild standpoint, you got guys like Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov who can just move the puck like crazy and just shoot, score goals, assist in the whole bit. You just don't want to do that. So that's really the big thing. It's 3 mistakes that cost the Blue Jackets that game. Otherwise, they played a pretty damn good game. It's you couldn't get the puck out. Fantilli just misses the puck, and then you power play. You give up a goal in the power play. That's why you lose that game. Otherwise, it's still a pretty good game from the Blue Jackets' perspective from the Minnesota game. And then obviously we'll get on to the Colorado one. And
let's move on to that one real quick, unless you had anything else about that.
No, I minus those mistakes. I just think against Minnesota, they played a pretty good game, and they just got to keep going.
Well, and then Matt Boldy, I mean, he had a 3-point game that night. He had a goal and 2 assists. He was on fire. So, Zach.
Matt Boldy's one of those guys, along with Kirill Kaprizov, when you're playing the Wild, that you just got to try your best to keep the puck away from those types of guys. And if you have to lose to the Wild, you want other people to beat you, not named Matt Boldy or Kirill.
Yeah, definitely. And so, Zach Werenski got a goal in the Wild game, and he also got the first goal in the game against Colorado. And so the Blue Jackets did something a little bit different this year. They were on the road for 2 games first before they played a game at home. I think that was a nice idea. Get some, especially with so many new faces, get some on the ice a little bit on a professional level before they come to their home opener. Last year, they played the Flyers right off the rip, and it wasn't like awful. It's just you don't know what to expect at all. So anyway, so in the Colorado game, they end up winning 6-4, despite having 23 shots on goal to Colorado's 30. I thought that was pretty impressive that their shooting percentage was that much higher. I mean, there was just goals galore. First period, we saw Zach Werenski and Ken Johnson both get goals. Nathan McKinnon scored a goal for the Avalanche. Fantilli scored in the second period, first goal of his year. Miles Wood and Casey Middlestat scored for Avalanche. Kirill Marchenko scored one for dude, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 goals in the second period alone because Kirill Marchenko came in with a wait, did I count that right? Kirill Marchenko and Yegor Chinakhov both scored a goal. In the third period, Ross Colton scored a goal for the Avalanche, making it 5-4, but Sean Monahan came at the end. There was a weird power play at the end. Like after the Avalanche scored, there was a penalty.
That really hurt the Avalanche there.
Yes.
Because they were really coming on strong there towards the end of the game there. They're putting the shots on goal. They're getting some chances, and then they pull the goalie, and eventually they do get that goal. And then you're like, uh-oh. And then they were starting to put on a little more pressure again, some more chances. They pulled the goalie again. They put on more shots on goal, getting more chances. The Blue Jackets got it out, and then the Avalanche commit a penalty that just basically costed them the game right there. Because that put a stop to any sort of attack that they had, because that just put a stop to their 6-on-5. Now they did pull the goalie to make it 5-on-5, but what happened is that the Blue Jackets get it out. It goes to Sean Monahan. He shoots and scores, and it is an empty net goal, but they do score. It is a power play goal, and it was 6-4. Overall, the Blue Jackets gave up 4 goals, and you don't like that. But when you're playing a team like the Colorado Avalanche that can score goals like crazy, you take that. You just take the win, and you just go. You move on with your life, and you go on to the next game, and you take it. And overall, just a damn good game that the Blue Jackets played in Colorado. 6 goals. They just played awesome. You had 6 different guys score a goal. The line of Sean Monahan, Kirill Marchenko, and Yegor Chinakhov was a +9 that night.
Yeah.
Sean
was 10 points, I think, total.
Yeah, and Sean Monahan had a 3-point night that night, 1 goal and 2 assists. Kent Johnson, one of the goal scorers, and absolutely just sniped. Absolutely beautiful shot in the first period. to make it 2-0. He has the puck and he takes it in the offensive zone and he skates it kind of like towards the boards and he shoots it and scores and just blows it right by the goalie. And there's like a little corner in the top part of the net. And he just sniped it right there, right by the goalie. And the goalie,
I was amazed. No one.
yeah, and the goalie just kind of looked. Colorado's goalie looked at it like, "Wait, what the heck did that go in?" Like, wow. And then Adam Fantilli, the third goal, another just absolutely beautiful snipe. It's a similar thing to Kent Johnson. He's kind of has the puck in the offensive zone, skates. He's kind of by like the boards, shoots it, snipes at 5-hole, and it's just like, wow, what a awesome shot. The goal that Marchenko scored, that was a squeaker. The Colorado goalie should have had that one there because Marchenko shoots it and he stops it, and then it just kind of just squeaks through him into the net. Realistically, yeah, that's a goal that Kirill Marchenko probably shouldn't have scored, but he did. The Zach Werenski goal, awesome goal. Colorado's goal had no chance on that because the way Yegor Chinakhov, he set that up perfectly because he has the puck and he kind of made it look like he was going to shoot it. So then, like, the goalie kind of scooched over to the right side of the net to get ready to stop the shot. But then at the last moment, Yegor Chinakhov just kind of did like a little quick backhand pass to Zach Werenski, and then all Zach Werenski has to do is just shoot it in the net because that goalie slid to the right. There was an open spot on the left, and Werenski shot it in. So that was awesome goal. The Yegor Chinakhov goal was just awesome because it was just awesome work by the Blue Jackets. Monahan, he's down low, he shoots it, and the Colorado goalie saves it. Puck bounces right back to Monahan. Monahan gets the puck, skates it around the net, and there's Yegor Chinakhov. He's just kind of hanging off to the side of the net, passes it to Chinakhov, and Chinakhov quickly shoots it and scores. And then the goal that Sean Monahan scored was an empty net goal where they get it. The Blue Jackets, it's a 5-on, technically 5-on-5, even though Colorado is shorthanded. They still pull the goal, so it's 5-on-5. They're still shorthanded technically. So it's 5-on-5. The Blue Jackets have the puck. They get it out. Kirill Marchenko has the puck, and he passes it to Sean Monahan. Sean Monahan shoots it into the net. He scores. Overall, I thought Danil Tarasov was good. I just think overall that was just a damn good game, minus giving up the 4 goals, but it is what it is. So just damn good game. Blue Jackets just, keep it going. And then obviously we'll move on to the Florida game. If Rinkat
real quick. Yeah. I want to ask Rinkat, did you have any thoughts about the Colorado Avalanche game there?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game. And I knew like it was gonna be a physical, tough game in general, and that's the type of game like I'm not saying we're gonna win the cup, but it shows like we're on the right direction. Like we play well against them. We defensively we were okay, I would say. And we scored, and when we had our chances, and because overall, the Avalanche are a way better team than us.
In the past few seasons, absolutely.
We still have, we still need 1 or 2 more guys, I would say.
Yeah,
some changes to be even on that level, maybe. Yeah.
So something I do want to say here, because I saw this on Twitter today, which is there is a reason why Danilo Tarasov played, Saturday night in Colorado against Elvis Merzlikins, and Dean Evison did mention this, which is this past season when the Blue Jackets played Colorado and Columbus, they beat the Avalanche 4-1, played a pretty good game that day. And who was in net that day was Danilo Tarasov, and he just played an awesome game against Colorado, and he was a big reason why the Blue Jackets won that game. And Dean Evison actually said that Danil Tarasov playing good against the Avalanche this past season played a big role in why he got picked to start against him this past Saturday. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that he's looking at prior matchups and saying, okay, what is the goalie that we should be starting for this, particular game? And it may go the other way, for future games if Dean Evison does that. He may look at an opponent and say, okay, well, Elvis Merzlikins has played real good against that team's back, last season or beyond. So maybe we start him here. And he might do it again for Danil Tarasov. So I just thought that was interesting that how Danil Tarasov performed against the Avalanche during the 2023-2024 season was a reason why he picked him to play against the Avalanche this past Saturday.
What Dean Evison likes, he said this a few times too. He doesn't like to look to the past of any of these guys. He doesn't like to look to last year for it. But, you do bring up the goaltenders. So there is a little piece of news here that I like to cover real quick before we talk about last night's game. And that is in Rinketic's title there. It says Jack Greaves is back. So, I think from what I understand, Elvis Merzlikins needs a little extra rest after last night's game or whatever. So Eric Goodbranson is on the IR, so that opens up a spot, and Jack Greaves is on the roster now. And I'm sure we're going to see Danil Tarasov in there start soon. But last night against Florida, it was Elvis Merzlikins in net. And personally, I didn't think he did that bad. There was a couple spots. Yeah, it squeaked by him.
He had a squeaker.
Yeah,
I said that when I was watching the game last night. I'm at the game in my seats, and I watched that goal go by, and then I'm like, oh, he let in a squeaker.
Yeah, but something really cool the Blue Jackets did last night that they did a few times last year, but it's always neat when they are able to pull it out. So the Blue Jackets have an issue with getting into the penalty box quite often, but last night, Cole Sillinger, 41 seconds into the second period, started the scoring off by a shorthanded goal for the Blue Jackets. And that doesn't happen too often. Florida answered back like 10 minutes later. Anton Lundell scored. Sean Monahan had a goal. After that, that top line has been buzzing for the Blue Jackets. It's been Chinakhov, Marchenko, and Monahan, with Boone Jenner being out. Yeah. And then Dmitry Kulikov answered back, and Sam Reinhart both got goals in the second period. There was 5 goals in the second period. Once again, second game with 5 goals in the second period. And then the third period, Eetu Luosterainen got a goal. That one was, I believe he had like a breakaway, and they were really just trying to wrap up on him without getting called for a penalty. And then JVR had a goal at the end, but it wasn't enough to get the Blue Jackets. So the game started off kind of aggressive. I mean, there was obviously a lot of emotions going around, but then also like there was not really a lot of calls from the refs. Obviously, there was a penalty against the Blue Jackets pretty early on, but the Florida was not really getting called either. And there was at one point, one of the funniest moments of last night to me was, so I saw a Florida player fall to the ice, and they were the Blue Jackets. You could tell the players were getting fed up and starting to hit back, and it was Sean Corrali, and Sean Corrali looks at the guy who's on the ice and pushes him down with his stick again. Right? Okay. Do you know who the guy was? It was Adam Boquist.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So you could kind of tell, like, yeah, he did it because he was getting fed up with like the rest of his team. I don't know what was said, obviously, but I'm sure, like, it was. I'm sure there was like some sort of good humor behind it a little bit. Because Sean Crowley did like a double take. He looked at him and he looked at him again. He's like, "Oh, it's Boquist," and like shoves him down. It just made me chuckle. I liked that a lot. I mean, liked it. I wish that wouldn't come to something like that. But overall, I thought that they played a great game last night. Like Dean Everson said, winning hockey, just not winning the game right now. It feels like so last year it felt like it was mostly not good with like glimpses of the good. You'd get a glimpse here and there of something nice. This year it's like good with like glimpses of like a brain fart or something. It's like it's just a momentary lapse of judgment. And instead of like, it's not like they were playing the whole game like that and then got lucky. It's the opposite. And I mean, like
Yeah.
Rinketic said, I don't think we're going for a cup this year, but it's definitely, I feel an improvement for this year so far. So
Right. I agree.
yeah,
May I ask you guys something?
sure.
Yeah. Oh,
If you could pick, would you rather like play this good, but get like a top 3 pick, like overall pick, or get a wild card pick, or like get a wild card spot?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, because for me, and as a Blue Jackets fan, we've been out of the playoff picture for quite a while now, and I would love to see them be able to get there. But at the same time, I do understand that there's a process that needs to get done, and that improvement's not going to always look pretty. And I'd rather, unfortunately, get like a higher pick while playing better. Like a higher draft pick while playing better than I don't know, just squeak into the playoffs through a wild card spot, but from getting lucky. I'd rather just be better and lose than be good, or not to be bad and just get lucky sometimes. But we also have young Beezer joining us tonight. How's it going, Bees? Our residential Flyers fanatic over here. Yeah.
Hello
So anyway,
We
thoughts
did
on last
say
night's game?
to-
yeah. Hello there, man of truth.
Sorry, Rinketic.
Hello there, Kevin.
Rinketic, you were saying something. Sorry.
No, I did say to Kevin and Bjorky the other night, I wouldn't mind to get a wild card, knock out Toronto, and then I don't care after that.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Well, I'll answer your question, Rinketic, there. Another top 3 pick, obviously, that help out the Blue Jackets, but I think they are still rebuilding. They still got some time to go here. But also on the flip side of that, at some point, you just got to stop with these top 3 picks and everything, and you just got to start improving and building up on that, which I do think they're doing that. In the event that the Blue Jackets did get into the playoffs, it would be so beneficial for most of the guys on the team. Like a guy like a Boone Jenner or Zach Werenski, like they know what it's like to play for the Blue Jackets in the playoffs. They know what it's like. Sean Corrali knows what it's like to be in the playoffs when he was with the Bruins, and Eric Branson knows what it's like to be in the playoffs with the Flames. And you got other guys on the Blue Jackets too that know what it's like to be in the playoffs. But
Jack Johnson, did you say him? Sorry, I spaced.
Jack Johnson knows what it's like to be in the playoffs.
To win a Stanley Cup.
And win a Stanley Cup with the Avalanche, but he also knows what it's like to be in the playoffs with the Blue Jackets. Jack Johnson, some of his biggest moments in the playoffs for the Blue Jackets were in 2014, where game 2 against the Penguins, he scored a big goal in the third period to tie it. Blue Jackets would eventually go on to win that game in double overtime to Matt Calvert. The following game, he scored another big goal. And then the 2016-2017 season, Jack Johnson was on a really good defensive pairing with David Savard. That was a plus 35 the entire season. And that was a big reason why the Blue Jackets went on a heater there and won 16 games in a row and had a 108-point season and made the playoffs and even won game 4 in that series against, Pittsburgh. And then the following year, he was on the team that helped him make the playoffs again in 2017, 2018. So Jack Johnson knows what it's like to make the playoffs with other teams, especially the Blue Jackets. So he could share that knowledge, but some of these guys, they don't. And that experience would be so helpful for a guy like a Cole Sillinger or a Yegor Chinikov, a Kirill Marchenko, and Adam Fantilli, or Kent Johnson, and, Tarasov, and you could go down the list. It'd be so beneficial. So me personally, I understand the whole building yourself up is part of the process. And yeah, you are going to lose some games. You're going to win some games too. But me personally, I'm kind of done with that whole be terrible for most of the season. We need to start showing some progress and slowly building yourself up more on a consistent basis. The Blue Jackets have done that, but I just would like to see more of that on a consistent basis and show more signs that you're almost there, basically. And I do think that, again, 3 games, it's a small sample size, but I do think it's there, and they're going to continue to keep doing that. I still think that as of now that they are going to get, let's say, instead of like a top 3 pick or top 5, maybe you'll get like top 10. Still not making the playoffs, but still much better and more competitive, and you can still get a good draft pick that can help you for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would definitely, I would agree with some of what you said there. We don't agree on some, that's fine as well. But we're getting kind of close here on time.
But the man of truth, do you have anything to say here?
Not much to say. Obviously I don't know what's the haps over there in Columbus land, but I've caught a couple of highlights and I've seen some moments, so far, and so far, you're still trying to get settled in and get that rust off. It's a new season and there's new people, coaches and players. And, obviously the end goal is to win games. You love to win games, but, so far you just got to get the people settled in. And that's about it.
So, what's everyone's? I know again, it's 3 games, small sample size and everything, but everyone's thinking of a Dean Evison so far.
Rinketic, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Nothing but good. Like, the thing is, like, this is no disrespect to Pascal Vincent, because I actually rated him when I was still doing YouTube back then, and I even was like, what? Sorry. I was quite happy with him and stuff. But well, and then after a while, I didn't trust Pascal that much. But with Dean Everson, I actually trust the guy, and I believe he's making some kind of progress. And this is not like some 5-game thing; it's like over 2-3 years.
Right. And yeah, like with Pascal Vincent too, he didn't have that head coaching experience too, which he's now getting in the AHL. So he could see himself back in the NHL one day too. You never know.
He had though.
As a head coach
from Manitoba.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, gotcha. Well,
maybe
he needs a little more practice.
He actually had Ville Heinola and Patrick Laine and all those guys.
Gotcha.
Jack Roslovic was under him too.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Then with the storylines last year with Laine and everything, then he's getting benched, and that's interesting to think about.
But Happy Duck, what you think? Again, 3 games, so small sample size. Yeah. What you thinking of Dean Evison so far?
I'm buying stock in it. I'm buying stock in Evison this year. Absolutely. I think we're gonna see over the next several years so what I believe the Jackets need is they need something stable. They need team stability for an extended period of time. And having so many new coaches, I mean, if we're even including Babcock in that, that's an even extra coach. So many new coaches, so many new players, so many new faces, so many this and that. We just need a little bit, calm down a little bit and just be stable for a while. And I think with that, will hopefully is the last piece of the retooling puzzle. And like what you said earlier, they can be kind of done with just sucking and getting good draft picks and just playing and steadily improving with stability.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I'll just share my thoughts on the whole Dean Evison here. Again, 3 games, small sample size, because you got to throw that out there. But so far, so good. I'm really liking it. coaching stability, that is a big thing. It's just you got to have someone there because it certainly did not help the Blue Jackets when, you get rid of Brad Larson, fine, whatever, he did have that 81-point season in that season. The Blue Jackets did better than expected. Everyone was picking them last place, and they didn't do that. So it's a credit to him for doing that. And then that next season, you're coming, okay, well, maybe we'll get something like that again. Not saying playoffs, but, you get Johnny Gaudreau and maybe you get something like that again. Then injuries and a bunch of other stuff happen, and it just like, oh, God, terrible. You did win some games, so that's good, but it's just mostly terrible. You do get Adam Fantilli and Gavin Brunley and other draft picks out of that, so it's not completely bad. And then the thing I do wonder about that is, had all those injuries not happened, how would have that season gone? Would it have been something similar or different? We'll never know. He gets fired, and then you get Mike Babcock, and that whole off season, we've talked about it, how that whole off season, the coaches and the players are preparing to be coached with Mike Babcock and Pascal Vincent as the assistant coach, and you have the other assistant coaches as well. And then 2 days before training camp, he does his phone shenanigans thing, and that screws it up, and he goes, and then, the Blue Jackets do Pascal Vincent dirty by throwing him to the Wolves. It's like, okay, well, here you go. Best of luck to you. Training camp starts in less than, the season's almost here. So best of luck to you. And he kind of got thrown to the Wolves there. And he was never put in a situation where I just think that it was a no-win situation because it was his first job. And he kind of had in a spot to where kind of had to kind of like you really every coach coaches to win. But when you were in a spot like Pascal Vincent, he really had to be in a spot to coach to win. And, he was just in a spot that he just wasn't going to win, no matter how hard he tried. And there was some improvement because you went from 58 points to 66 points, and there was some other stuff that I did like from Pascal Vincent. I would have liked, if he was given the chance to stay, I would have liked to seen how he would have handled it with the normal offseason as the head coach and just no shenanigans, his own training camp and all that other stuff. We won't get that because Don Waddell made the decision to get rid of him and put in Dean Evison, and it's looking good so far. And just having a stability there is just perfect. And like you said, Hefty Duck, I just hope that this is it for now, that he just stays there for a bit and we just have stability and we just get going. The Blue Jackets, as I said earlier on in the show, things look more stable, more confident, more defensively sound. Offensively, they look more aggressive. Everything is getting put on the net. Defensively looks better. They're being aggressive, but not stupid and aggressive. When they're aggressive, they're still covering their guys. They're not being aggressive, and then you skated yourself out of position. You're too aggressive, and you're leaving guys wide open. So I like that. They look better. They look more fun, more competitive, and again, through games, small sample size, but I suspect that this is just the way it's going to be, and it's just going to, keep going. As for my thoughts on the Blue Jackets Florida game, it just comes down to this. Both teams played a pretty good game, but it just comes down to this, is that you just made little small mistakes here and there, and the Panthers put it in the back of the net. Example, less than a minute to go, it's tied up at 2, and less than a minute to go, you give up a goal to make it 3-2, and you go in the period down 3-2. Earlier in the game, Elvis Merzlikins, I thought, generally speaking, he played pretty good, but then he let in a squeaker. The Blue Jackets are winning 1-0, and the goal he lets in was a squeaker. He stops the puck, and then it just hits him, and it just kind of squeaks right through into the net, and it's like, damn, that's one you got to stop, and that's one that I bet you Elvis Merzlikins would look at that one like, I should have had that one. And then the goal that, like I said, the goal that was scored at the end of the second period, you can't do that. And then about a little over 4 minutes to go, Florida gets on a breakaway, they score, and that was basically it right there because, the Blue Jackets did, get some goals from Cole Sillinger and Cole Silver scored a goal and Sean Monahan scored a goal, and then James Van Riemsdyk scored a goal to make it 4-3. But if you don't give up that fourth goal, it's tied up at 3, and more likely than not, it's heading to overtime, and you still have a chance to win the game. And that's what I just kept after that game ended. I just kept saying to myself, like, damn, that fourth goal costed them. It really did. That fourth goal really costed them, because if that goal doesn't get scored, more likely than not, it's still 3-3, and more likely than not, the Blue Jackets are in overtime and they still have a chance to win the game. Oh well, it is what it is, because even you take those little mistakes away, it was still a pretty damn good game played by the Blue Jackets. I like it, and they just gotta keep going. And you mentioned the line of Yegor Chinakhov, Sean Monahan, and Kirill Marchenko has been awesome. I saw this on Twitter, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen just to show how awesome that they've been playing so far this season. Again, 3 games, small sample size, but this is how awesome that they've played. So I put it up on the screen from Jeff Savoda. He says, per Money Puck, Chinakhov, Monahan, Marchenko leads the NHL in expected goals percentage, 83.9% among lines with at least 30 minutes played, have outscored teams 4-0 through 3 games, small sample size, but they're dominating the puck and scoring chances so far, #CBJ. So pretty good there from the Sean Monahan, Kirill Marchenko, and Yegor Chinakhov line. Also from last night's game, I want to share this, is that Sean Monahan was doing pretty good on the faceoffs last night. He was 20 of 26. Sean Monahan was 20 of 26 for a face-off win percentage of 76.7%. That is the 4th highest by a Blue Jackets player in Blue Jackets history by taking 25 or more draws. So 20 of 26 face-offs, 76.7%. That is pretty damn good there. So nicely done, Sean Monahan. And the face-off is one of the reasons why getting a guy like Sean Monahan is very important, because he's shown he's good at face-offs and offense and power play and so much more. And we need guys like that. We don't have Boone Jenner right now because he's hurt, but before he got hurt, you had Sean Corrali, who's good at face-offs. You had Boone Jenner, who's good at face-offs, and you had Sean Monahan, who's good at face-offs, and that gave you so much versatility on who you could do.
Cole Cylinder's pretty good now too.
Cole Cylinder's pretty good at that too. He's gotten pretty good at that too. So you don't have Boone Jenner right now, but you still have 3 good face-off options. If you need a guy to win a face-off, you can put Cole Cylinder, Sean Monahan, or Sean Corrali out there. So that's pretty good. Just some stuff I wanted to, share there.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. So yeah, we're kind of here at the end now, and I know I have just a couple short things to say here at the very end, but while we're here, let's go ahead and we'll start with you, Beezer. You're the last to join us. You'll be the first to talk. Is there anything that you would like to plug or talk about yet, real quick, in the next few minutes?
I would like to plug the FHL and the FBL and the Saskatoon Bandits personally, because that was the team that Johnny played for. And, the boys miss him. And shout out to myself, Young Beezer, on Twitter/X, or whatever the hell the millennials call it nowadays. And
hellhole.
Hell ass. And that's all I got to say about that.
Dope.
Go
Well,
Flyers,
appreciate you being
I
here.
think.
Okay, we banned him from the chat. It's cool.
Aw.
Just kidding. Rinketic, you got anything that you want to add real quick or a shout out?
No. Thanks for letting me on again.
Yep.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being here. We appreciate it.
We're waiting on you, Lance. When are you gonna join the Discord a bit more?
Oh man, I wish I had more time. I'm on here and there. Usually when I am get on, it seems to be like oh, sorry, I muted you for just a second. Your mic was messing up there, Rinketic. Usually I find it's usually just like me or Kevin and Owen or something real late at night. I don't know. If it was late for me, it's probably early in the morning for you. But yeah, I'll try to get on more. And if anyone else too, you got the FHL, FBL, come join the Discord.
That's right.
You damn right, brother.
But Kevin, I'll give the floor to you for a minute, and then I'll finish off.
Yeah. So the Blue Jackets, they don't have the Kepi, at least for this season, because everyone knows if you watch the Blue Jackets game that every time they win, they pass out a Union Army Kepi, which just fits perfectly with the Blue Jackets Civil War theme. And I absolutely love that. I just love when the Blue Jackets use their Civil War theme, and they've been so good about that, from the Kepi shoulder patch logo, Cannon shoulder patch logo, to Cannon third jersey, Cannon shoulder patch, the Cannon crew, the Cannon, and the Kepi that they pass out to all the players after each Blue Jackets win. This year is a little bit different. No Kepi, but it's for a good reason. I like that, and the good reason is that they have a donkey hat now, and the donkey hat is a hat that looks like a donkey, and it has the number 13 for Johnny Gaudreau on it, and it has a Blue Jackets logo on it as well. And why the donkey hat, you might be asking? Here's why. Because Johnny Gaudreau called everyone donkeys, and he didn't mean it in a mean way, in a kind of a fun, nice, joking way, that he would just call everyone donkeys. Why? I'm not exactly sure why he calls everyone donkeys, but it is what it is. Nothing wrong about that. So starting this season, the Blue Jackets are going to be giving out a donkey hat with the Blue Jackets logo and number 13 for Johnny Gaudreau, and that replaces the Kepi as like the best player of the game. And of course, the Blue Jackets won in Colorado this past Saturday, 6-4. So that means the first player to get the donkey hat was Sean Monahan, and I'm going to play that video. So
You're right back.
here's the video right here. So as you can see on the screen, here's the video. So I'm going to play it.
All right, boys. That's how we work those 2 games. I thought that was awesome from us, and that's our standard now moving forward. So we have to do that consistently. We ditched the Kepi this year. We're doing the donkey of the game in honor of John. That's what he called everyone. And this first one goes to Monty.
Big win, boys. Thanks for making it feel like home right away here. Great staff, great teammates. It's obviously emotional for me coming here, and it's been great. So thanks, guys. Huge win.
Yeah. All right, boys.
So there's the donkey hat right there, all in its awesome glory. Starting this season, every time the Blue Jackets win, one Blue Jackets player will get a donkey hat. And from now on, until they go back to the Kepi, or maybe they make the decision to just stick with the donkey. But until they go back to the Kepi, I'm calling this the donkey of the game. Every time a Blue Jackets player wins, the Blue Jackets win, I'm now going to be looking forward to who is going to be the donkey of the game. And now it's going to be interesting to see who Sean Monahan gives the donkey to. And that player will be the donkey of the game. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Happy Duck didn't make a mention of it that yesterday, Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, Union Blue Soldiers, like we always do, has a march to cheer on the Blue Jackets before the Blue Jackets home opener. And that's exactly what we did. We had our march. Before the march started, we had a little moment of silence for Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Gaudreau, as well as my Uncle Doc. As many of you know, I've talked about my Uncle Doc before, and my Uncle Doc was a good guy, a very nice guy, and a big hockey fan, and I loved talking hockey to him. He was a big Union Blue Soldiers supporter, and had he given the chance, he would have loved going to see the Blue Jackets play, and he would have loved the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does. Unfortunately, he didn't get that chance, so that's why we honored my Uncle Doc with a moment of silence, along with Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau. We did the moment of silence. It was awesome. And then the march, we started the march, and the march was put on TV. So if you were watching 10 TV or NBC4 yesterday, you would have seen the Union Blue Soldiers March on TV. So that was pretty cool. Thank you, Adam King from 10 TV and Whitney Harding from NBC4. Thank you for coming to the march. Thank you for putting it on TV. And to everyone who showed up to the march, thank you for coming. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Thank you for coming. And, I had a fun time bringing Blue Jackets fans together to march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So overall, it was pretty damn cool. It was a lot of fun. Fun march, fun Blue Jackets game I went to. And I have some pictures and videos from the march, and I'll share that on next week's show. And, one last thing for me is that you should totally check out Union Blue Soldiers, a Blue Jackets fan group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like the march, and got some other fun stuff planned as well. So go check that out. So,
yeah.
All right. All right. I'm done talking. I'm out.
Let's go. Okay, so I got some real quick stuff to go over real quick. I gotta go. So I gotta get this out right now. Elvis is now listed as on the IR. So I don't know exactly. It's just listed as upper body injury as of literally like 5 minutes ago. Also, I wanted to bring up something really interesting from last night. So I'm up in the media booth and everything, and I'm walking in the hallway, going back from getting my coffee. And who did I run across? I didn't stop and talk to him or even say hi, but Jarmo Kekalainen was in the building last night for the Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau Memorial. So I just thought that was neat. That he returned for that, or I mean, he might even still live in Columbus. I wouldn't be surprised, but he officially is no longer employed by Columbus. So, anyway, this has been another episode of the Brew Jackets. We'll be here again next Wednesday, 6 p.m. as always, and next Tuesday I will be at the game. So if you see me, say hi. I'll say hi to you or something. I am usually not down on event level, but I might be there. Getting a bag of chips or something. But anyway,
Blaze.
Thank you all once again. It's actually Grippos. Get it right, Grippos.
It's
okay. Sorry.
Anyway, so see you all soon. Thank you for liking and following and sharing everything, and thanks to our audio listeners. Have a good one.
Yeet.
See ya.